I guess what have you learned about the importance of consistency in your vision and your principles? Because I mean, the brand's going to be what, 20 years in 2 years? And
Yeah,
staying consistent with the original principles, the original foundations is extraordinarily difficult. So what have you learned about branding and the consistency of branding and communication and principles over long periods of time?
stick to your vision and really try to stick to what you have as your original plan if you believe it, not letting too many other people maybe tell you that you're on the wrong path, because it's so easy to when certain things happen along the road. I feel it's easy to listen to other people, and at least that's what we did. We listened to a lot of people that gave us advices, and we thought maybe their advice was better than our feeling and our thoughts. And I think we had a very clear vision and clear path from the beginning. But it's like I have said for a few years now, I feel like I'm 8, 9 years behind schedule because we did take some wrong turns, and we did take some wrong decisions during these years that have made us get to where we are today.
Yeah, and also the business, I mean, the market has changed, the whole change of going from physical stores and shopping in physical stores going to over to 2018, everything went over to digital shopping. So a lot of our customers kind of disappeared, and we have to do like a new strategy. So those years were very much like
Starting all over again.
Yeah, we had to start over, and it was kind of good because we didn't like where we were then, and kind of restarted the company, you and I, the last 3.5 years, I think. So we have really done a lot the last 3 years. So we are on a new path, you could say.
Interesting. Yeah, and when you mentioned the biggest mistakes or the mistakes that you've made along your career, has this been the biggest and most prominent one? Just not adapting to the online sales momentum fast enough?
Yeah, also taking a wrong path in our customer. I think we started to grow quite quickly. And we had also always a quite clear vision to sell internationally with a brand, because we knew that the customers were not so many in Sweden who could maybe afford, but it was not many people enough so we could grow in Sweden. So we always felt that we had to go internationally. And I think we grew very quickly in Sweden when we started. And I think that also became sometimes maybe the customer that was not the customer we had originally planned for. And then the demand was something else than we had made the clothes for. So the demand is changing, and we're continuing what we were doing, and the demand is something else, and we're not delivering what the demand was, and that became like a clinch, I think.
Yeah, very much.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. What period was this? Was it when the brand had just started, or 10 years, 5 years, 15
No,
years?
like 10 years.
10 years of like, yeah.
And
then,
what? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So after this change in the digitalization, we kind of had to restart or like rethink a new strategy, and then we made like our own. We want to rule the brand. No one else can rule it. So we are growing through our own channels, and then of course we are growing now exports through like other retailers, but then it's like luxury retailers, and then it's more as a partner and more just a slight expansion of the brand's luxury level. So
stores that also understands the brand and understands our vision and goes in line with our vision, and then it makes sense because then they have the same customer and it's going to be better for everyone in the end. So I think that was like probably the biggest thing in the company for sure.
Interesting. So the challenges that came with digitalization and the challenges that came through explosive growth and demand, that it inadvertently attracted you to start making decisions based on something that was against the foundational principles of the company or of the brand, I'm guessing.
Good summary.
And what happened? What happened that came to that? Because usually it doesn't happen that way. Usually growth is because you're doing something right with your principles, right? And it's just that. What
happened was actually, to be honest, me and my sisters, all three of us were in a room, and none of us was wearing Dagmar anymore. It was kind of clear. And we were standing before a meeting, and everyone says, "Why are you not wearing Dagmar?" I'm like, "Oh, it's not for me anymore," I said, and Karin said the same, and Christina said the same. Why are we doing this if no one wants to wear the clothes anymore? Yeah, it's a good question with that. And that's when we kind of pulled the brake a bit and started to just, okay, we have to sit down and talk to ourselves. What are we doing? Why did we start this? Who's our customer if we're not wearing it anymore? And we have to just rethink, go back to the roots, why we even started this. And we actually, and that's what I started actually this whole conversation about, that I said that we were quiet for a few years, because that's when we didn't want any PR about us. We didn't want any magazines almost to say anything about us. We were very quiet for a few years, did a rebranding, changed a lot within the company, and now we feel more confident than ever. And I think we did a great change.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, it was an identity crisis, essentially.
100%.